Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Inked Reader. Today I am filming my comics wrap up for the month of May. I had a good reading month as always. You've seen the stats, so without further ado I'm gonna get into it. I have changed the number up here because I've read 2 volumes of a couple of things and I've combined them. So yeah, I've just put them together. So the numbers are not gonna be 13, 14, however many actual volumes I've read, but they're gonna be a bit less because of that. Yeah, so our number weather is in here. So last place for this month we have the Promise Neverland volume 3. These are horror. I think this is around 20 to 23 volumes in total. It's a completed series, but I have much to catch up on. And if you want to hear synopsis, I usually go into a synopsis in my TBRs, not in my wrap-ups. But yeah, you follow a bunch of kids trying to escape an orphanage that is actually a prison. And I wanted to ask you guys, does this get any better if you've read the series? And how is the anime of these? Is it fully adapted? Is it just partially adapted? Is the anime identical to this? Because I might consider the anime eventually instead of continue on. Don't get me wrong, this is not like a 2 stars read. I still enjoyed it enough. However, I really don't do well with children protagonists. And although these children in here are extremely clever, I just don't care about much. Like, I want to know what's going on. I want to know what happens in the world outside and everything that goes on with it. I'm very curious. However, the process of getting there, it's a bit lackluster. I just find myself dragging through some of the volumes and just not enjoying myself that much. I think also this series is so packed with twists and turns that there are so many of them in a very close quarter environment, because you're in this orphanage, and so there's so much stuff that can happen, and a lot of stuff happens, but again, the environment is pretty restrictive if you want. These twists, I just expect them by now. Basically, they are so constant, so often, that having a twist now it doesn't have the element of surprise for me, because I know it's coming. I know it probably what just happened is gonna be, turn on its head and again and again and again and again, which is fine, but at the pace that this is going, I think it's just too much to keep the suspense going. So I'm just like, yeah, here we go again. So I'm indecisive if I want to continue or not, and I would really love to hear from you guys what you thought if you've read the series. I love the art though. The art is so stunning, and again, the mystery is interesting. So I'm conflicted as of now, I would say. The next one, I actually don't have much to say about it at all. I am enjoying it. I'm keep reading it, and this is One Piece volume 4, a swashbuckling fantasy, very popular manga that pretty much everybody knows about. I am currently making my way through it. My lovely friends gifted me the first box set, and so yeah, I'm slowly reading through them. I love the art and the humor and just the camaraderie going on, and the message about friendship and loyalty and what it means. So I really like everything about these. It is a bit episodic, meaning that you got like a bad guy, you have to fight it for a few volumes, and then you go on and on, but really the characters is what keeps me here. And yes, you guys said at the beginning is a bit slow. You have to just give it around 9 volumes before things really pick up. And yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm keep reading. I am enjoying it overall, but I don't have much to say about this one. I like the bad guy. I think he's very vicious though. This bad guy in here that we are fighting now. This is the second volume that everything is going on, and we are not resolving the issue as of now. I'll take a break for this month from One Piece, but I will continue on in the next few months in summer. Then I've got Rick and Morty, Tiny Rick. This is volume number 4 or 5, I don't remember the series. This was a catch-up from the month of April. I couldn't get around to read these, so I read these this month. And yeah, I mean, it's Rick and Morty. It's kind of an exception when it comes down to episodic series in comics, because yes, of course it is episodic. However, it's so over the top at all times that it doesn't feel episodic. It just feels weird and absurd and hilarious at all times. So I'm not bothered by this kind of episodic content, if it makes sense. But yeah, Jerry is my favorite loser out there. I absolutely adore Jerry. I think he is so inherently hilarious, just being himself, and I enjoy this as I've enjoyed all the other volumes, going on these crazy adventures, and I really appreciate the art. I think this is just really a graphic novel that I can always pick up when I'm maybe in between heavy stuff and just have a good time. And then I've got Vagabond. These are the stunning Viz editions, and I need to find number 3 because it was sold out in the website on the website that usually I use to purchase them. And Vagabond this is a historical fiction manga. However, the inspiration for this, so the protagonist of this is a samurai that indeed really existed in Japan, and I believe it was the most famous samurai in Japanese history. So yeah, I'm gonna show you some of the art of these. And I was speaking about the art, and I wanted to mention that the art of Vagabond is one of the best art style I have seen in manga ever. Despite everything I might think about the story, I absolutely love each page. Each panel is just so visually stunning. Not to mention, like, can we appreciate the spines that combine and make the cast of characters? Like, yes, that's how you do a manga. A volume, like a special edition of a manga volume. So this is low, and you guys told me about these, you warned me, so I made my peace with it, and I am just taking my time with Vagabond. I don't feel the rush of continuing the story every month. For example, we'll take a break. There's another one that I won't read anything of in June because I need to find the 3rd volume in this edition to begin with, but I really appreciate the themes that we explore in this, because again, these themes, because of the slowness of the story, really take their time to be explored. So this is something I really appreciate at times, not always, but in this case I do appreciate. And also, I don't know how I feel about our main protagonist. I admire him, but I don't like him as a personality. I don't know how to explain. However, I think he reminds me this determination of getting better, and in order to get better, he sustains an incredible amount of trauma to his body, physical damage that he can take because of his determination. It just really makes me, I don't know, root for him in a sense. And he reminds me also of Guts from Berserk, that kind of endless determination of making it, and that doesn't matter what happens to you, you're still gonna make it and you're still gonna reach your goal. I love Berserk, as you might well know, so seeing these protagonists reminding me of Guts is definitely a positive thing. I also really enjoyed the enemy that we are introduced in here. I thought it was a very interesting character. However, I do suspect that the real enemy, the final enemy, I guess, thus far, because this series is resuming perhaps after a hiatus, it's another one. And that guy is a douche, so I don't know what's gonna happen. But yeah, we will see. Okay, then I have got Jujitsu. This is not in terms of quality, I just wanna say that because I've not said it at the beginning. This is just in terms of how much I enjoyed going through the process of reading each volume, if it makes sense. So that's how I compiled the list. If it was just quality wise, it would probably be very different. So yeah, next I've got Jujutsu Kaisen. I've reread volume 1 and continue on with volume 2. I'm gonna show you the art of volume 1. This is another very popular Shonen Jump manga that has been adapted. I'm not sure if the series has been completed or not. If you follow me, you might have heard me reading volume 1 and being very indecisive about what to do with the series. I wasn't loving it. And I think my mistake was also reading these while reading Chainsaw Man at the same time, because I couldn't help but compare them, and these fell short. Now there's been a few months since I've ingested the last volume of Chainsaw Man that was available. I think I gave this a fairer chance. I also read volume 0, which I don't remember much about apart from a bunch of characters, but I think I just took my time with it, added more distance with Chainsaw, and I could appreciate this for what it was, and I really clicked with the characters. Yes, Yuji still reminds me of Genji a bit, and it's inevitable because there are some similarities in these. However, now I don't know what I want to do, because I said I'm just gonna give up probably and just gonna watch the anime, which I want to watch anyway because of MAPPA. Like, yeah, it's MAPPA, it's made by MAPPA. I love everything that MAPPA has put out, mostly recently from Attack on Titan and so forth. So I am tempted to watch the anime anyway. I mean, I will watch the anime anyway, but I'm not so sure what to do with these because the volumes are relatively cheap and I am enjoying it. So yeah, basically I'm more confused than I was. Then I do have Pie. Then I do have Fire Punch volume number 3. These are other stunning editions of manga volumes. I really love how they're a bit more broader and how they're done. I just love them so much. This is a seinen manga, dystopian, post-apocalyptic fantasy from the same manga artist, author that did Chainsaw Man. Is this way bleaker than Chainsaw Man in a sense. It feels very much more oppressive. Chainsaw Man has the element of humor and boobs, if you want, that's more like typical of manga. This feels very grim dark. So far I'm enjoying these quite a lot. I particularly loved Annie and what he does in these. I was a bit complaining on how he was very much one-dimensional, and in these he becomes something more. The end also, like, yeah, I am eager to continue on and see what happens after the cliffhanger in the end of these. I also really appreciated how these explore the idea of how the same people, humans, then can become divided and, you know, become the winner and the loser, the oppressor and oppressed, and how the same thing, according to which group you belong to, is perceived completely different. So I really like the exploration of humanity and groups, while at the same time at the core we're exactly identical. It's just where we are put by society, in a sense, that makes us view things extremely different and react extremely different to something. So really appreciated these and the themes that this is bringing to the table. Then I have got Morning Glories. This is volume 6, so I got 4 more volumes to go. I don't know why, I particularly love the art of Morning Glories. Let me see what I can show you, because I don't want to spoil anything. Okay, let's go with these. The very first page, I guess. But just to make you understand like how cool the art is. Sorry, the light is not helping today, is it? We do what we can. After a meh volume, these goes back to the old glories, full of murderous twists, unlikable characters, and an impossible to follow plot. I really had a great time with these. It's just so bloody fun to just follow along this crazy plot developing and getting more complex, and you never know what's gonna happen next. So yeah, loving my time with Morning Glories, as you might have known if you've followed me in my videos. If you don't know, yeah, I love Morning Glories. Basically this year I have rediscovered it and I am enjoying it so much. I have to say that there is a character inside here, I don't remember exactly his name, but he is the asshole. He is the one that always says the inappropriate thing, and I like him as a character. I think he's very refreshing because it's a character that makes such jokes that are so inappropriate. I don't think many authors nowadays in this climate that we live in would ever dare write the jokes that he uses, and although I understand how problematic they are and how much of an asshole he is also a very unique character, and it's also refreshing to see someone daring to be so unlikable. I don't know how to express it in any other way. I've got Summertime Rendering Volume 4, another manga series that has the most stunning like package in a sense. Like, it's amazing how it looks, like it's so lucid. It's a bit bigger than a normal volume. It contains 2 volumes. I don't remember, I think, or maybe 3 volumes. In Japan, the amount of volumes is way more than 6. So here they're combining a bunch of volumes, and I love how it looks like. Very thriller, horrorish series, mystery series that is so complex, so complicated. Now, did I mention that I love the art in this as much as I hate the fact that for whatever reason these characters translated in English, some words they say in a dialect and it just sounds awful. Now, if I ever watch the anime, I will probably watch in Japanese, so I won't understand if I have a dialect or not, but in English it's so great. You know, it just feels bad to read when they say words in that dialect. I don't know how to explain it in any other way. I enjoyed this volume. I think the author is so sweet. He tried to really explain what's going on here, and he really tried didn't work at all. Like, I'm more confused than before we try to explain. Whether he gives the idea, I think he explains the legend for which he has taken inspiration. I don't know if he made up that legend or if it's indeed a true Japanese legend, but I really love the legend, the inspiration behind this. So yeah, I am sadly having to take a break from these as well because the volume was sold out where I usually purchase them again, and I found them very expensive, so I might wait another month or so before purchasing them, and hopefully I can finish the last 2 volumes. But yeah, it's a series that I don't understand what's going on, but I just love the art, love the horrorish elements of these, and just love how they look on my shelves. Because that also plays a part, unfortunately. I have to be honest, like, yeah. But it has to be everything. No, they just don't have to look pretty, like they have to have the whole package. Toward the end, so some of my favorite reads of the month are number 3, I believe. We have Neil Gaiman, The Sandman, volume number 8. Now this is a novelty because usually The Sandman is pretty down low in the list when I do these videos at the end of the month. And I have to say that volume 8 is probably among my favorite ones. If not my favorite one so far, it's the second favorite one. I really loved how the stories in this, Morpheus has a very small role in these. However, the stories that we explore in these and they're told, I really enjoyed them, and I really enjoyed the idea of having this in at the end of the world without giving any spoilers. I liked the context that these stories happened in. Finally, an end of a volume that really made me think, oh, actually I do wish I had the other volume so I could just power through it. And so I'm planning to finish it this month that you're watching this series, see how it goes, because I really want to know. I have an idea what happened in the end, but I don't know if I'm right or wrong. I'll find out. And number 2, I've got Duradoro, and this is one of my favorite ongoing for me because it's finished, ongoing series that I am making my way through this year. I particularly love the art of Duradoro. I think there is something that it's really, the art style really communicate the kind of world this takes place in. I think it's just the perfect art for the world that she created. So yeah, I appreciate that, how the two things, the themes of these, the characters and the world matches perfectly with the art style. Maybe it's obvious to people that read manga way more than I do, but not all art style shout very unique style or very unique style of the world as others do. So like in this case, this one really tells me, like, I could see her art everywhere and it would still remind me of Duradoro world. I don't know. I'm curious to check out the other series by her and see. It's very difficult to review a single volume without giving any spoilers. There is a female protagonist in this, and I had some suspicions on her, and I think I was right. I am eager to see what she does next. Johnson is so random. I'm a big fan of him just because he has, like, it's so out of the blue. Like, it doesn't fit anywhere. Like, it's so random, as I said, and I just love it, how eccentric that is. Very happy that in this we got to explore the sorcerer part of the world way more. And so that was very interesting to explore, and the fanfare, the idea behind it, it's nuts. It's one of my definitely favorite series ever. Even now, I've just read 6 volumes out of 23, but I can see that this is gonna be like a GOAT for me. And yeah, it continues to have like a perfect standard, perfect 4.5 stars, 5 stars. I don't care, it's Duradoro. And at number 1, I combined 2 volumes of Monstrous. Now, Monstrous volume 3 probably would come, technically speaking, before Duradoro. However, they're very similar, and Monstrous volume 4, it's not because I enjoyed it necessarily more than Duradoro, because there's not much I enjoy more than Duradoro. However, I grew to love this series so much, and this volume 4, was definitely the favorite one for me, and I think it just stood out this month for how much I enjoyed this. Of a series that initially I dropped because it was just too complex for me. These are adult fantasy, steampunk, grimdark fantasy, and it's a very layered plot. However, now that I am grasping more upon rereading and continue on after rereads, and now that I'm really taking my time while reading these and rereading parts if need be, I'm really appreciating what they created, the author and the artist in these. Not to mention that the art is absolutely breathtaking. Now I'm gonna try and show you the volume 3 just because it's less of a spoilery than volume 4. I don't know. quite well. Volume 4 was amazing. I think we also, in Volume 4, we explore way more our main protagonist's story, origins, and it also, I don't know, the whole theme of this, the whole adventure that we go on, the whole thing that happens, I don't know how to say it, the whole things that are going on in these were so interesting, just kept me on the edge of my seat. I think this is indeed a series that every time I will reread it, it will always open new doors, because it has so much packed in that you really need to take your time with it. And I stand by in saying that this is some of the best art style in graphic novels that we'll probably ever see. And I can only imagine how much time does it take for the author and the artist, to actually come, do one single of these drawings. I don't know, I could picture in my mind while I was reading these done as Love, Death and Robots on Netflix, the series anthology, is done with that kind of animations. Imagine these done like that. Would be perfect. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you've read last month, what was your favorite read of the month, and yeah, suggestion about the Promise Neverland if you have any. I would love to hear your opinion of the whole series and if it gets better or not. But yeah, thank you for watching. If you're new, I would love for you to subscribe, so hit the button down below. I'll see you next time. Take care of yourself. Ciao!